Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, coaches, athletes, and members of our esteemed media. Welcome to the 10th annual Fulton County Schools Football Media Day. My name is Lamar Glenn, and I'm so extremely proud to serve as your Director of Athletics. I would like to start by thanking the College Football Hall of Fame and its staff for hosting us this morning. I would like to acknowledge and thank members of our Fulton County's Board of Education that are in attendance this morning. The work that you all do just means so much. I'd also like to thank our Superintendent, Dr. Mike Looney, our Chief of Staff, Mr. Cliff Jones. Your service and dedication to our school district is essential to the success of what these folks in this room do, and we thank you. Thank you also to BSN Sports for sponsoring this event. The service that you give to our schools is second to none, and we really appreciate that. I just want to say Fulton County Schools has a rich tradition of athletic success. 21 state championships last year as a school district. That's something to be proud of. But our football programs are no exception. Our schools have produced numerous talented athletes that have gone on to do successful things at the collegiate and professional levels. We should be proud of our football heritage here in Fulton County and the impact that it's had throughout the state of Georgia and actually now across the nation. This event is a huge deal. Some has coined this event as the kickoff to the new school year. This morning, you'll hear from some of our head coaches that will introduce some of their top players. They will give their insights, aspirations, goals for the upcoming season. And just remember this, as we embark on this new season, let us remember that football is more than just a game. It is the platform for growth, a source of inspiration, and a force that brings communities together on Friday nights. Once again, thank you for joining us today for Football Media Day 2024, and we're looking forward to an unforgettable and exciting season. Without further ado, we're going to start our program this morning by introducing our school board president, Mrs. Kimberly Dove.
Fantastic Friday, everyone. I am so excited to be here today on behalf of the Board of Education. But before I bring remarks, I would like to introduce my colleagues, Vice President Kristen McCabe, Francesca Warren, Dr. Michelle Moranci, Miss Katie Gregory, and Miss Lily Pozotic and Katha Stewart wanted to be here today, but they were not able to be here. So everyone, rest assured that our students are thoroughly ready and prepared to tackle life's challenges in the classroom, on the field, and what I've heard, in the weight room. As we witness today, our students are disciplined and creates positive impacts in their lives and in the lives of their families. Students, we look forward to your continued success and watch you grow. And as Deepak Chopra said, you are immune to criticism, fearless, and beneath no one. Expect the best. Now we'll bring up our school superintendent, Dr. Mike Looney.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is hard to believe, but the 2024-25 school year is upon us. And I can't wait for Friday Night Lights. Coaches, first and foremost, thank you. Thank you for your tireless dedication and devotion and commitment to our athletes. Thank you for teaching them that winning is important, but winning with class is more important. I know that you have their best welfare in mind, and I appreciate the fact that you work tirelessly to mentor them, to sacrifice for them, and to help them to grow and prosper to be successful adults post-high school athletics. To our athletes, I'm proud of you. Being an athlete comes with tremendous opportunity, whether it's just playing high school football or sports, or whether you're going to the next level. The reality of it is these are some of your best days, and you will always treasure them and remember them. Take that in. Savor these moments. You know, the school board just recently passed a system of values that are designed to connect us all and to point us in the same direction. They are our core beliefs, the things that bond us together. And we have 3 of them, TIA, T-I-A. T for teamwork. You see, none of us can accomplish everything that we want to accomplish in life, in school, in sports, without others. So know that it's important to me that you lean on and support your teammates. The second word, or the second norm or value that we have, is integrity. That's a very important word to me because everything that you do not only represents you as a man or young man, but it also represents the values that you bring from home. It also represents the values that your team brings to the locker room and to the practice field every single day. So whatever it is that you do, whether you score a touchdown or you get tackled, remember to do it with integrity. Hold your head up high and know that you doing your best is that what matters most. And then finally, accountability. You see, we live in a time when people find easy ways to make excuses. I didn't practice because I was busy. I didn't feel like waking up. I had a headache. I have to study for a test. Accountability. Do what you say you're going to do. Do what you committed to do. And do it with all the fervor, excitement, and enthusiasm that you can muster. Teamwork, integrity, and accountability. Gentlemen, you have a responsibility. You represent yourselves, your families, your team, your coaches, and your school. You also represent Fulton County School District. So I ask that you take the opportunity that you've been given to lead by example. When you don that jersey at practice on Friday for Spirit Day or on the football field, know that everybody is watching you and your actions speak volumes. Play hard, play safe, play with courage, play with integrity. Let's have a great season.
Thank you, Dr. Looney and Mrs. Dove, for those words. As we move along in the program, I'm so excited for our keynote speaker. This gentleman is no stranger, probably to many of you coaches and Georgia Bulldog fans. Our guest speaker today is Rennie Curran, 3-time All-American at the University of Georgia. Third round draft pick for the Tennessee Titans, played some Canadian football as well, But more importantly, when I'm looking at guest speakers, I'm looking at folks that you guys can learn from and grow from. And one day you're going to have to put these cleats up. And those cleats are going to go in the back of the closet, never to be worn again. And there's something else that you're going to have to do in this life. And Rennie Curran, what he's done as an entrepreneur, as an author, and as a motivational speaker is second to none. So I'm going to allow him to come up and share his story with you. So without further ado, Mr. Rennie Curran.
Fulton County, how y'all doing? I know y'all not that quiet and the football season's about to start. I'm gonna ask y'all one more time. How y'all doing? Good, good, good. Awesome, man. I'm fired up to be here with you all. I don't have a lot of time, but I just want to first start by telling you thank you, Mr. Glenn, for giving me this opportunity to share. Give him a round of applause, please. Yes. To Mrs. Dove, saw you not too long ago at the Georgia School Boards Association. Great to see you again, and all the school board members. Dr. Looney, thank you all for this opportunity. To all the coaches, man, I can't tell you all how important that you are to me, because I'm a product of every single one of you all who are in this audience right now. So give a round of applause for the coaches in the room right here, because I know it's a sacrifice. So guys, I don't have a lot of time, but once again, my name is Rennie Curran. I wanted to just share with you all briefly just some tools, some tips, some principles that have helped me, not only on the field while I was a player. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I miss it. As I'm sitting here listening to the fact that it's media day, right? It's almost August, I get that itch. And those of y'all who played, who can no longer strap it up, you know what I mean. You get that feeling where you wanna run. I play linebacker, so I wanna run through somebody. Like I miss it. It's special. Like Dr. Looney just said, man, seize this moment. You have a blessing, you have the gift to be able to strap it with your brothers. And I don't know if y'all realize how special that is, man, but don't take it for granted. Because you wake up one day, man, and it's done, it's over. Football is not one of those games where you can just go play pickup, right? Once you take those pads off, those cleats off for the last time, that's it. Where my seniors at in the room? How many seniors? Yeah, most of y'all are seniors. So for some of y'all, you're gonna get another opportunity. You're gonna play at the next level. For many of you all, this is gonna be your last year. And so if there's anything I can start off my message by telling you all is that, man, make the most of this moment. Every single play, every single practice, no matter how hot it gets out here, no matter how tough it is, go hard. Leave every single thing you can on that field. Because guess what? One day you're gonna be a 35-year-old man and you're gonna have to still look at yourself in the mirror every single day. And you're gonna have the memories every single day. You're either gonna have feelings of pride or feelings of regret. So make the most of every single opportunity that you have. And I wanna just share with y'all some of the things that separated me from everybody, that allowed me to have that resume that was just talked about. Man, it started at home. It started with several things that I did day in and day out, making a constant decision. And I'll tell y'all right now, guys, it did not look like that when I was 15, 16 years old. If you had talked to anybody when I was y'all's age, it would have been a completely different story. I came from very humble beginnings. Both my parents knew absolutely nothing about football whatsoever. They're both from Liberia, immigrants. So when I told them I even wanted to play this game, they were like, okay, do what you got to do. We don't know what that is, but hey, get out there. Right? So I was a trailblazer. I was the first person in my family to do what I did. I didn't even play linebacker when I got to high school. I played running back. And one of the first principles that I learned came at a moment in my greatest frustration. I got moved from running back to linebacker, and I couldn't stand my coach. I was ready to quit, to be honest. I went to my little league coach, who was like a second father to me, and he told me something that I live by now. He said, Rennie Curran, I want you to do something for me. I was in his living room, mad. He said, Rennie, I want you to focus on what you can control. Focus on what you can control. And that has always stuck with me, guys. There's gonna be so many things in this game that you cannot control. You can't control who your teammates are. You can't control your community. You can't control what's going on at home. You can't control how you were brought up. You can't control any of that, but the most important person you control is you. You can control your effort. You can control your attitude. You can control your thought process, your beliefs, the things that you do first thing in the morning, the things that you do at nighttime, the things that you do when it's the fourth quarter and the game is on the line and your back is against the wall, regardless of what the scoreboard says, you can control that. You can control what you do in the classroom, your character, your leadership abilities. You can control that, right? But you can't control all these other, my height. I heard every single short joke in the book, right? Midget, leprechaun, I heard it. I could not control my height, right? But over time, I realized there were things that I could control, my mindset. What's in here, my heart, my effort, which is between, like Ray Lewis said it best, your effort is between you and you. You can control that. The next thing, besides focusing on what you can control, is another lesson that I live by. It's a saying that came at a time when life wasn't going the way that I wanted to. When I'm second string, I'm scout team. Life is tough. I'm not getting that scholarship that I want. I'm not doing the things that maybe will attract the attention from my coaches. And this happened at every single level. But a saying that I live by when I was on the field, that I live by now, is you have to operate at the level of your vision. Operate at the level of your vision. You will have times in life, many of you are, I know you're going through some struggles right now. You will have times in your life where your circumstances, your current realities will tell you a story that is not pretty. I know many of you are, when you go home, when you leave that field, life is tough. I remember those days. I remember those days when my dad had just lost his business, where I came home to lights that were shut off. When I was on free and reduced lunch meals, when I had to get a ride to and from the practice, when I always needed a couple extra bucks. I remember those days. But what kept me going was not allowing my life at that time to dictate my attitude, my beliefs, the hope that I had, the faith that I had, the effort and the way that I approached life, not letting my life at that time dictate it. My vision dictated the standard of how I approached my life. And so I'm here to tell you right now, wherever you're going through, man, have that powerful vision that sets the standard for how you approach every single thing that you do. Allow that to set the standard. So if you say, man, and I brought my jerseys, y'all. So if your vision is to play at the University of Georgia, these are both of my game-worn jerseys. If your vision is to be at this level, if your vision is to eventually get here, you got to ask yourself, how do I need to operate right now? Who do I need to surround myself with? What are the habits that I need to be focused on? And what are the habits that I need to let go of? How do I need to start my day? How do I need to approach practice every single day? That's what it takes. And when I hold up these jerseys, y'all, it makes me think about several things. And I want to make sure I'm good on time. It makes me think about so many things. And those of y'all who play in college and the pros, you know what I'm about to say. They don't hand these things out. You got to go out and you got to take this thing. If this is your dream, you got to sacrifice every single day. You got to be different. You got to have a standard, man, that separates you from anybody, even beyond what your coaches expect of you. What are your standards? What are your beliefs? How do you operate in the first quarter? How do you operate in the fourth quarter? How do you operate in the face of adversity? After that injury, how do you respond? How do you operate when somebody maybe gets a success that you don't get? Somebody else gets that scholarship. Somebody else is above you. Can you still cheer them on? Can you still be a teammate? Are you jealous? Right? That's the first thing. They don't hand these things out. This requires a standard. The second thing this jersey makes me think about is the fact that at every level, it requires a different level of you. Every level, new devil. So in high school, I could not take the same standards and belief and go to Georgia and think I was going to get the same results. I had to become a completely different person. Pros, I had to humble myself and learn, surround myself with mentors. I couldn't get there and think that I just arrived. Nah, it required a whole new level of faith. It required a whole new level of character, a whole new level of consistency. So every level requires a different level of you. And then the last thing I want to leave you all with is the fact that, man, who you are when you have this jersey on is just as important as who you are when you take this thing off. When you take this thing off, man, that's when life really starts. Many of y'all sitting in this room right now, you're thinking that, man, if I can just get here, I'm gonna be good, I'm gonna set my family up, life's gonna be great. But I'm here to tell you, man, that this, what you think is the end all be all, is just the beginning of your life. It's just the start. And many times when you hear athletes talk about getting to this level, right, they don't talk about what happens after you make it here. And I need y'all to ask yourself this question. If I get to the NFL, I get to the second and third contract, I make all the money in the world, then what? Then who am I? There's many of us, right, we build ourselves as athletes. We become the most amazing high performers. We can operate on the field. We can do whatever's asked of us. We have the confidence. We have the belief. We have the self-control. But then when we take this off, we forget exactly who we are. And the biggest challenge I want you to ask yourself, and if you remember anything from my message today, is I want you to take everything that makes you great as an athlete, and I want you to bring it over into who you are as a person. Every single day, that's your standard. That's what you do. That's how you operate. So I asked myself when I transitioned out, when I could no longer play, I said, man, who was Rennie Curran as a linebacker? Rennie Curran was relentless. Rennie Curran was a go-getter. Rennie Curran was a leader. Rennie Curran was somebody who strived for high performance, not to just be a high performer, but a high-performing leader. Now, I had to bring those characteristics, those traits over into Rennie Curran as a person. And even though I'm not wearing this jersey, I got a new jersey on, right? So every single day I put my suit on, or I put my shirt on, and I step into any room, I got that same linebacker mentality. Because it's not just about this position, it's about life. It's about being the best version of yourself every single day, guys. And so I want to stress to y'all, man, don't just be high performers on the field, be high-performing leaders. And so that means, man, when you're off that field, it's not just about you. It's not just about your stats. It's not just about your scholarships. You got teammates right now on your team that need to hear that encouragement. They need to see the example that you set. They need to know who you are. You got classmates when you go back to school that are going through so many different things, and you can influence them. You can empower them. But if it's just about you, if it's just about you getting to the next level, man, you're missing out on a major opportunity. So being a high-performing leader is about, man, how do you treat not just your teammates, but those freshmen? How do you treat the freshmen on your team? How do you treat the women in your life? How do you treat every single aspect of your life? When you go home, are you the same person you are on the field? That's what I want to stress for y'all. If you guys can remember that, man, it doesn't matter what you do in life, you're going to be successful. And it's not going to be easy, y'all. I'm here to tell y'all that. You think when you get this thing, you hear your name called, you think you just ride off into the sunset and life is just good, is just sweet? Nah. I'm here to tell y'all it's still going to be a fight. It's still going to be a struggle. But at the end of the day, if you can maintain those same principles, those same things that you're doing on the field day in and day out, you are going to be successful. And the last thing I want to say is for the coaches, for my coaches in the room. I know you guys are focused on getting to that next level, getting these men ready, the wins and the losses, man, and you guys know this as well as I do, that the most important job that you have is leading these men to become fathers, to become leaders. And I just want to reiterate that they're going to be men, they're going to be fathers, they're going to be husbands way longer than they're going to be athletes. So every chance that you get when you're coaching them, teach them that lesson that's not just going to help them when it's 3rd and 1, but that lesson that's going to help them when they're a father of a 15-year-old like myself. And it's a struggle. That lesson that's going to help them when they just got fired from their job. That lesson that's going to help them long after their playing days are over. And the biggest thing I can tell y'all from when I played, man, the most important coaches in my life, no matter how good they were at the X's and O's, the number one thing I knew and that I remember and I cherished was the fact that I knew they cared about me. They cared about me. And if I could say that, I had the honor of playing with Coach Mark Richt. And when I think about it now, man, the most important thing, why I still call him to this day, is because I know he cared about me beyond just being a player. He cared about my soul. He cared about where I was going long after my playing days was over, long after my life was over. And I would not be up here, I cannot be up here, guys, without telling y'all the importance of my faith. That's what brought me through many times. My faith, prayers, favor. I want to make sure I reiterate that. Faith, prayers. I had a mother that would stand over me and pray over me at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. at night and anoint my head with oil. And so I want to make sure I communicate that. You cannot make it, you cannot have football without faith. Truly believe that. So going back to what I said to coaches, showing these guys that you care, that they know your heart, they know your intentions, is going to go such a further, longer way than anything they do in terms of X's and O's. And last thing I want to say to you all is never allow ego, pride, whatever happens with the X's and O's to make you forget what all this is about. And Dr. Looney talked about it, that it's about building leaders. It's about helping these guys, man, to become the best version of themselves and reach their fullest potential. So, guys, I know my time is up. It's been an honor to share with you all. I wish you guys the best this season. Dominate. Leave it all on the field, man, and go get them. Thank you all. God bless.
We've been summoned to take a picture.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. Well, I think Rennie said it all. He said a mouthful. And young men, coaches, you know, I would definitely take that into this season. And with those words, you know, I don't think you could fail in this life. All right. For the main event, we'll start to bring up our coaches and players to just discuss team outlooks and everything. So we're going to start with the Alpharetta Raiders and Coach Jason Kervin.
Good morning, guys. Don't really love having to go after Rennie, man. That was awesome. If I could get you on the phone for about 10 minutes every morning on the way to work, that would definitely improve my performance. But I appreciate that, man. That was awesome. We're excited to be here today. It's been an interesting off season for us, to say the least. It's kind of been a tale of two halves. You know, we got off to a little bit of a rocky start. The season didn't end well last year. It was a failure. Any way you want to measure it, chop it up. And, you know, when that happens, you got two choices. You can make excuses, you know, and not solve the problem, or you can look yourself in the mirror and, you know, and try to make the adjustments you need. And I made some promises this group that we were going to do some things different. We're going to make some changes we needed to make. And at the time I said it, you know, I could tell, you know, the way they were looking at me, they were hoping, but, you know, they weren't sure they needed to see it. And, you know, we licked our wounds. We went back to work. This group right here has been the tip of the sword on, you know, doubling down on what we know is right, what we need to do. And this season about us isn't just about winning. We want to win and we want to be successful, but we want to change the culture back to what our expectation is for Alpharetta High School, for our community, and just for our personal selves. And I think that starts a lot with what Rennie said, but if I could sum it up with anything, I think it's gratitude as much as anything. When you have gratitude for the opportunities that you do have, even when you're struggling, you're going to be the best version of yourself. You're going to have the best energy. You're going to keep your focus. And these guys have gratitude to be here. They have gratitude to wear the silver and the black and play for Alpharetta. And I'm excited to see what this group is going to do on the field, and I'm looking forward to walking out of that tunnel with them, and I'll be as proud to walk out of this tunnel with this group as any group that I've ever coached, because they've consistently done the right things all off season, and I think it's going to show in our performance. So I want to go ahead and talk about these guys a little bit. We'll start with number 9, Tucker Keller. Tucker's a senior tight end for us. Big kid, strong kid. really has developed himself as a receiver and really tried to, complete his game. He's very intentional about what he does. His job, his responsibility, his role as a leader is important to him, and he takes that serious, and people know that, and they recognize that. And not only is he going to have an exceptional senior year, he's committed to BYU, which we're proud of. We're excited for him. We think, that's a great program for him to be in. And not only is he going to be successful, but he's going to be a big reason that we change the culture and get it back on track the way we want. So I'm proud of Tucker. Next, we've got number 4, Cole Walker. He's played corner for us in the past. He's been starting since he was a sophomore. We're actually moving to nickel this year. I think Cole Walker is one of the best football players I've ever coached, and I don't say that lightly. I mean that. He does everything well. He does everything really well. He has exceptional talent as far as his hips, his hands, his feet, his skill set, but he plays with a high IQ. And he's a game changer. He's not just looking to do his job. He's looking to impact the game. We're actually going to play him at running back some this year. And I think if he just played running back on his own and didn't play defense, he has enough talent to be a 1,000-yard rusher. And I think that speaks just to his skill set with, no work at running back. He hasn't gotten reps at running back since he's been there in 8th grade, but he's good enough to play it, and he's going to play it this year. And he's going to have an exceptional year. We're proud of him. And he's just a tremendous kid and a tremendous player. Next, we got number 5, Julius Holly. Julius is committed to Michigan. He's an outside linebacker, edge guy, really good player. Probably when we started watching him in the offseason, even in the gym, we're in the gym in January and February, and I'm just watching him run. I'm watching his explosion. I'm watching his speed, and you can see it's just boom, boom, boom. I mean, he's just taking – it's like almost every week it's like he's getting faster, more explosive. And I think he's a testament to a lot of kids that and he's been playing since he was a freshman now. He's been playing as a freshman and sophomore too. But a lot of kids – when you stick with it, even when you don't have the top success you want, he's been a consistent starter and he's been a good player. But when you keep working day in and day out and keep being intentional about what you're doing and understand what you need to improve on and what your deficiencies are, and you address those, the sky's the limit for the progress you can make. And I don't know that I've been around a kid that's made more progress from November to March as he has. It's been tremendous. The offers came. I thought they would. I put a tweet out in about February that, I thought he was a future 5-star. And I don't say that lightly either. And at that time, he didn't have Georgia, Michigan, and Alabama. But you could see it. You could see it coming. He's put in the work. And he's also a tremendous leader, has unbelievable character, does the right thing. And he's going to be an important leader for us in setting the tone and making sure that, we're keeping our focus on what we need to. So we're proud of Julius. And then last we've got Sammy Sills, number 63. Sammy he played some guard as a sophomore and started as a sophomore. He played left tackle last year. Tremendous player, tremendous pass blocker, has really long wingspan, but just a really good player, does a lot of things well. We moved him into center just because, with his height, it'll help him get recruited a little bit, and we needed that leadership on the inside to get the IDs, to make the calls, to lead the group, and he's obviously done what he's done. He's first team all region, so it's not a secret that he's a really good player. He's been a really good player for a long time, but his knowledge and understanding and importance of getting it right for the offense just kind of exudes over our entire offense and has made a big difference. He's done a great job leading that group up front, and I'm excited to see that offensive line go to work next year. So these guys are here today because they're really good players, but they are a reflection of what we're proud of at Alpharetta and the kind of people and players we have. So we look forward to kicking off in the Mercedes-Benz Dome. We're in the Forsyth region this year, so we're not getting to play as many of y'all as we normally do. A little disappointed about that. Those rivalries are always fun and exciting, but we wish you guys the best of luck, and we'll see you on the field.
Next, we'll have Coach Kelly and the Banneker Trojans.
Good morning. Good morning. First and foremost, I want each and every player in here to give yourselves a round of applause. As you know, the summer workouts can be grueling and tough, and for you guys to finally reach the end of those summer workouts, now it's time to get to the real grind, which is football season. Coaches, you are respected. Everything that you guys do, just remember that you're a life changer. Each and every day, every kid you come in contact with, every single kid that you have to take home or provide a meal for, just know that you are appreciated by those guys. Season outlook for Banneker Trojans. We had a tough year last year, but we're going to put our heads down. We went to work this summer. These guys right here, they're an example of what we kind of stand for when it comes to the 3 C's. We call that commitment, high character, and competition. These guys are kind of exude each and every one of those qualities, and we really hope that it pays off this season for these guys. The guys I have with me, if you will step out, LaShawn Stuckey. LaShawn Stuckey was a first-team all-region linebacker for us this past season. He does everything for us, though. He's played tight end. He's played linebacker. He's played offensive line. He's one of the real reasons why you know that hard work pays off. When LaShawn came in, he didn't look like this. He didn't look like this. LaShawn was an offensive lineman when he first came in to Banneker. Kid that we kind of teetered with, put at defensive end, defensive tackle as well. But now he's starting to get some scholarship offers from at the linebacker position. So the work that he's put in and the way he's changed his body, started running track, you really seen his athleticism shoot out the roof. I had Demarion Hetzpeth. Demarion has been a quarterback for me for the last couple of years. He's also plays some defensive back as well, real playmaker. Always wants the ball in his hand, and he's willing to make a play in at any part of the game. Demarion is someone that we really seen growth in as a person. He's starting to really be a lot more committed to what Banneker stands for, and we look for big things from Demarion as well. Eugene Davis. He's been starting for 3 years. This will be his 4th year starting. He started as a true freshman coming into Banneker. He's someone we've always been able to count on. Big kid, strong kid, really just a bully on the field, someone that we feel like we could have the chance to run behind. He plays offensive guard for us. Eugene's starting to get recruited, started getting some action in the recruiting as well. So if he continues, we feel like the sky's the limit for Eugene. Greg Perry. Greg came from Creekside when they did the redistricting. Greg is a kid that, you know, he doesn't really play in the games. He's always serious. Really a bully on the field as well, someone that we kind of can depend on in the run game. He's also a really good athlete and able to we were able to move him outside to offensive tackle now. So Greg should start getting recruited. Squats over 550 pounds. He's one of those juniors that we really should expect to get recruited kind of heavy over the next 2 years. So sky's the limit for Greg as well. Last but not least, we have Eli Cofield. Although he started last year, Eli is like the glue. He's the guy who's always available. Eli, I need you to hit the group chat up. Make sure we get a little extra work in. Eli, I need to make sure that you need to make sure that the receivers see the messages in the huddle. Those type of things where Eli is always the first to respond. He's always the first to, I got you, coach. I'll make sure it happens. So Eli is the kind of leader that we kind of look forward to. He might not make all the plays on the field, but he's a kid that we can always depend on, and we know that Eli's going to always be there. Last but not least, one of the things that I want to make sure that I kind of saw earlier today, don't count the days. Showing up and just coming, that's not enough. Make the days count. Don't count the days, make the days count. And then the sky's the limit for each and every one of you guys. Good luck for the rest of the season, guys. Have a good one.
All right, next up we'll have Coach Jones and the Cambridge Bears.
First of all, thankful to be here. Thank you for College Football Hall of Fame for hosting this amazing event. Coach Glenn and staff for putting this thing together. First year head coach, so I'm very thankful to our administration, Principal Agins, Coach Broadwell, for giving me the opportunity to lead this program. Again, also excited to be a part of Fulton County. This is my first year in Fulton, so excited to see what all it has in store. Cambridge is an amazing community. It's an amazing school. Great kids, great just booster support. So again, very excited to be a part of that. Boys have been working hard. Change is hard, but it's also exciting. So I'm thankful that these guys have embraced the change. They've been working extremely hard throughout the spring. Spring was new for them. Summer has been actually not that hot. I tell them they're lucky. I mean, you coaches know what I'm talking about. It's not been that hot this summer, but they've been grinding, especially through some of the challenges we've had. We've not been able to be at our home stadium, practice field. We've been displaced elsewhere. Shout out to Milton for letting us use their field for the last week. But we're excited for this year nonetheless. We're not really making excuses about that. We're just excited to be able to play this great game. Last year, 6-5, got into the playoffs, lost a tough one to Hiram. Looking to bounce back. That was a group that was relatively new. A lot of seniors lost the year before that. So we actually returned 18 starters, which is a good thing. Most of these guys, all returning starters. I'll talk about them a little bit. First off, we got number 6, Tyler Blaylock, running back. Had about 1,200 yards, 14 touchdowns last year. A guy that really carried the load for the team last year. So we look for big things to come from him. Expect him to do the same thing. Tote the rock, be a leader on the offense. We'll try to utilize him a little bit more in the pass game this year than he has been in the past. But just dynamic with the ball in his hands, really explosive. He's strong, tough to tackle one-on-one. So expect a big year from him. Next, we got quarterback number 2, Weston Taylor. Weston kind of got thrust into the spotlight last year due to injury to a senior quarterback. But I thought he did a great job of just kind of managing and controlling what he can control. You wouldn't really know it based on last year's film, but he has a ton of ability in throwing the ball. And so that's been a very surprising just thing to find out coming in. You can watch film, but when you see it live, he's got a very special arm talent. And so I expect him to take charge of the offense, take command. We put a lot on him, but he's doing a great job of being able to handle that. And so look for him to have a really big year for us. All right, next we got number 18, D lineman, Jordan Johnson. Jordan's a 3-year starter. Last year got cut short due to an injury. So he lost a lot of that pivotal junior film, and so he's kind of late on the on the trail or the recruiting trail. But he has worked his butt off to come back from that injury. Just tremendous strength games in the offseason, working on his craft. He's got a handful of Division I offers, so he's trying to make that decision on where he's going to go play next year. Talk about a team player. Jordan started off, I told you he was a 3-year starter. He started as a sophomore at tight end, and then kind of came into last year as a tight end as well. Got the injury. When he came back, kind of bought into the D-line, so he's been a D-lineman for us. We've had some offensive lineman injuries, and so he has been that team player to go over to the other side of the ball. He's like, Coach, whatever you need. Obviously, he's got good size, and so he makes us better up front. So, kind of the guy that you want to lead your team. But, if he's not helping us out on the O-line, he's gonna make some plays on the D-line, and so we're really excited about him. Last but not least, we got Gabe Smith. All right, if you can't tell, Gabe's an offensive lineman. He's pretty big. He's an absolute mauler in the run game. He's been working really hard in the offseason to develop, to become a complete offensive lineman. Gabe's committed to Liberty. We look for him to, continue his football career successfully there. Happy that he found his home, had a 20-plus Division I offers, so glad that he found a spot that he feels like is right for him in his football career and his education. He's going to be a big part of our success, leading the offensive line unit. We go as the offensive line goes, and so look for him to have a big year. In general, just excited for this year, see what we can do. Thank you guys for the opportunity to be here today, and bear down. All right.
All right, next we'll bring up Coach Adam Miller and the Centennial Knights.
Hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Adam Miller. I'm going into my second year here at Centennial High School. Thank you to Coach Glenn, Dr. Looney, the board, Fulton County Athletics for putting on such a wonderful event. Do need to give a shout out to BSN for the breakfast. Thank you. Shout out to Darcy, best rep there is. Absolutely. Big thank you to Dr. Opie Blackwell, who's here. He's our principal, and our athletic director, Trey Henson, who's here as well. When you go to a school as a football coach, you're only as good as your administration. And we have a chance to be very, very good because of the leadership of those two men within our program and our community. So thankful for you guys and thankful for all that you've done for our program overall. I wanted to lighten things up this year, so I prepared a roast of the Fulton County coaches. Yeah. So I went through it with Coach Henson. He cracked up. He loved it. He loved all the shots I took at Coach Reeves and Milton in my roasts. Yeah. All right, went to Dr. Blackwell. I mean, he was crying. He was laughing so hard. It was hilarious. He said, Coach, the board members are going to be there. I'd like for us both to keep our jobs. So I'm not going to get too much into the roast, and we'll talk about that later on. But going into this season, just super, super excited to be at year 2 at Centennial. We have 3 foundations within our program. Those are discipline, effort, and trust. And these 4 young men back here, I could talk about each one of them for an hour or plus, who they are as young men and who they are as football players. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let you know this. They have been in Centennial's district since elementary school. They have bought into Centennial, bought into our program, bought into doing things the right way, bought into being disciplined, giving phenomenal effort and trust in the process, and that's why they're here today to represent us. The thing we challenge with them to do this year is our theme of the year. That theme is uncommon. We want to be uncommon in the way that we prepare. We want to be uncommon with the way that we speak to one another. We want to speak life and love to each other. We want to make sure as we go into school day that we are uncommon and people notice we are different because we are football players and because we're part of our program. We told them in January that this would be the toughest offseason they've ever had, as we finally got that point when you hit about that 16 to 18-month point of getting a new job. That's when your culture really begins to take root. And our culture is beginning to take root because of these young men and the work they've put in this offseason. So we're excited for this upcoming season. We're excited to get out and compete. I want to wish good luck to everybody except for Riverwood, Johns Creek, Chattahoochee, and Cambridge for 1 week of the season. The rest, good luck. But for the 1 week, no good luck on that week. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. God bless. Go Knights.
All right, next we'll have Coach Carlisle and the Chattahoochee Cougars.
Hello, how is everyone doing today? Great. Hey, this is Chattahoochee Cougars, brand new jerseys. Pretty excited about that. I know the kids are, but just blessed to be here. Thank you for everyone to being here. Thank you, Fulton County. I want to shout out to my principal, Dr. Todd, for hiring me. I'm also in my second year and just so blessed to be here. It's just been a privilege being up in Georgia in general, coming from South Florida. That you guys really know how to do high school football up here, and I just appreciate the opportunity that I've had at Chattahoochee High School. I would also like to thank Coach Short, our athletic director, to give me this opportunity. Last year was definitely improved, but nowhere where we want it. We competed. We lost 4 games within 12 points. We had one of the most exciting games I've ever been part of against GAC, 41-38. We went to nail biter with Cambridge, lost by 1, 2-point conversion. But our guys competed all season. All season we competed, and that's all I asked for them. This year, it's time to take those close games and turn them into W's. And we're just so blessed to be, I think, the hardest region in the state by far, with teams like Milton, Roswell, Gainesville, Johns Creek, Seconder, and Lanier. We're excited for the opportunity. Some people want to shy away from hard competition. We're not. We're excited to go against the best, and we're just so excited for that. The guys up here, all seniors, like Coach Miller said, guys that have grown up in the Chattahoochee district. This is my first year. I haven't lost a kid to a transfer. We haven't gained any transfers, and I'm excited about that. We have Chattahoochee kids trying to change this team. Chattahoochee hasn't made the playoffs in, I believe it's 7 seasons. So we're trying to build on last year and make that playoff spot this year. So the guys up here, the first one I want to talk about is Johnny Connolly. He's starting O-line and linebacker for us. He's a 3-year starter. He was second team all-region. Anything we ask him to do, he does. We had him at D-line. I asked him, you want to play some linebacker? He said, yes, Coach, I'd love to. So we have him playing linebacker now. The next guy we have is Aaron Clark. He's a 2-way starter on the offense and defensive line. And that's kind of our whole team. We don't have guys that play one spot. We have 2-way starters on the entire team. But Aaron Clark started at defensive line this year. He's playing offensive line also this year. Been working really hard in the weight room. And we're just super excited what he can do this year. The next guy is Luke Priester. He was second team all-region, 36 total touchdowns, 2,500 total yards. Also, pretty good punter. So we're excited what he can do. Also has multiple Division I lacrosse offers, and he was first team all-state in lacrosse. The next one is DJ Avery. Played offense, defense, special teams. Played 99% of our snaps last year, 17 total touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 2 to the house, kickoff to the house, punt to the house, 2 onside kicks, multiple Division I offers. He just committed to Miami of Ohio. And we're just super excited what all these guys can do this year and really change the culture. We've already changed the culture at Chattahoochee, but really push it in the next direction of making the playoffs. Thank you. Go Hooch.
All right, next we'll have Coach Dixon and the Creekside Seminoles.
All right. Hey, good morning and try pride for the South Side. This is year 8, guys, and I'm gonna tell you my biggest fear is falling down them stairs. So the idea of me just making up those stairs and down is a good thing for me. First and foremost, I want to thank all the board members, Dr. Looney, Dr. Awak, Dr. Troy, it's a whole lot of doctors, for just giving me an opportunity to serve in my community. I'm a proud and humble servant of Fulton County. I'm a product of Fulton County, and every day that I step foot in my school, I am just thankful to be here. Truly humble and blessed for the opportunity. Everybody know about Creekside. It ain't really hard to find. We kind of a little bit of here, a little bit of there, a little bit everywhere. Last year, we got to the 15th game, but didn't finish the drill. So the emphasis this year has been finishing everything with high character, with class and effort. I've pushed my group of seniors who are up here with me to just be the best person they can be 24 hours a day. If they can commit to doing that, the wins will follow. Next thing, we just want to be consistent on the football field, in the classroom, and in life. And again, if you do those things, the wins will follow. And then the last thing is I want them to compete. I want them to compete in everything, in class, in school, in the community, and of course on the football field, and of course the wins will follow. Over my 8 years, everybody know my first year was kind of bad. Mr. Maxwell was here who hired me, and I can just remember him saying, hey, Coach, you're probably going to lose every game. And, at that time, I'm just like, got this big ego, and I'm like, yeah, man, I'm going to win by 4 or 5, and yeah, I lost every game. But you had to catch me then because you really can't catch me now. We're just trying to get better every day, and hopefully we'll win that 15th game this year. The seniors I have with me are Dylan Vickerson. Dylan Vickerson is a 4-star receiver, has over 40 offers. Last year, you got a little taste of him because he was out for like the first 8 weeks of the season, but he made some very big plays for us to get to the state championship game. Dylan Blakey is another 4-year kid for us at Creekside. Came out midway through his ninth grade year, started last year all 15 games, has developed into a really, really great linebacker, has instincts, is athletic, fast and physical. Is going to be one of the best he can get. Of course, he got the offers. Phoenix Harper is like a third-generation Creekside kid. Not only did I see his brother playing the state championship game, his sister was my manager my first year, and now I'm finishing up with him. And to see him to develop into the player he can be, I'm really excited for the year he's going to have on the back end leading us our DB core. And then last but not least is Zarian St. Jones. And I'm going to tell you this all the time, like I really be on St. all the time. Like I really be on him because I know how good of a player he can be and how good of a person he can be. For me, it's about building consistency and making good decisions, right? And those kind of roll together and you become a really, really good person. Football, or being a great football player, just a byproduct of just being a good person and having an elite work ethic. These 4 men are all great people and have developed an elite work ethic. I'm truly excited to see what Creekside is going to do on Friday night because we're going to finish the drill and we're going to win game 15. Try pride. I don't see nobody this year because I'm the only person in my region for Fulton County. So I guess good luck to y'all, even on Fridays. Y'all have a good day, man.
Coach, it's yours. All right, next we'll have Coach Gordon and the Hateville Hornets.
Good morning, and greetings from the little small charter school in South Fulton down there off Buffington Road. I want to acknowledge our executive director, Mr. Mike Ramos, in the back, Dr. Looney, Ms. Love, and the rest of the board members. We appreciate everything y'all do for charter systems in Fulton County. We're going to keep continuing to try to make you proud with all the AP honors and the things that we've done over at Hateville Charter. As you know, I'm the oldest statesman that's been working for playing ball in the county for the last 15 years. So I'm kind of approaching the back end of this thing. So these, I've been doing this here for a long time since we started doing the media day. But every year it gets better. Dr. Glenn, you're doing an outstanding job with, pushing this thing forward and always continuing to support the charter schools who always need a little boost every now and then. The young man I brought with me today is KJ Pope. KJ been with me. He was the ball boy, the manager, done been everything. Since he been 5 years old, he been around football. And it's just amazing to see a kid that's already finished with school. He's going to be an early graduate, over 3.3 GPA. He'll get his associate's degree. See, like I tell kids all the time, it's bigger than football at Hateville Charter. Even though we win, it's bigger than football. We try to make sure we build young men that are going on to do great things in our community and in other communities which they live in. KJ has several offers, University of Houston, Akron, I can't remember all of them, KJ. I can't give you a whole laundry list, but he's been doing a great job. He also plays DB as well. So he's going to have a decision to make once he gets at the collegiate level to see where he's going to want to play. The next young man is Jacine Williams. Also, kid been with me ever since he's been 6, 7 years old, running around the sidelines, all in the middle of the football field, about to get penalties. But they've been around football their whole life, and they love it. And just like KJ, another young man that's dual enrolled, going to graduate from school early, and just love football and love academics. Being recruited by a lot of people, so he'll have a decision here to make pretty soon where he wants to go to school. The next young man is Keyshawn Wooten. Keyshawn, another kid, been with me forever, for last 6 years. So a lot of kids, when they enter the charter system, they stay in the charter system. And, we're one of the first charter schools in the state to start playing football. So that's been kind of a draw to bring some of the kids. But Keyshawn's another kid that also graduated early, over 3-point-something GPA. Does an outstanding job for us and have an opportunity to go and play at the next level. Lastly, Zachary Smith, kid that came to us in the 9th grade, Been with us ever since. I think he committed to Indiana, so he's already made his decision where he wants to go. I guess Mark Cuban made that happen. But I told him he picked a good choice. A lot of times kids don't do their history and what the school and who it produces and what is bigger than football. But that's where he'll be taking his talents to play next year. Just keep supporting charter schools, and we're going to continue to keep making you proud. And Hateville Charter.
All right, next we'll have Coach Ryle and Johns Creek.
Good morning. First of all, I appreciate our board in Fulton County. You guys, this is incredible. I have to give a shout out to Mr. Glenn. This is an outstanding event. And Darcy, I do. You are the best in the business, and we do appreciate you very much. Talking about Johns Creek a little bit, there's a lot of excitement. This last offseason, we put in a lot of standards and accountability, and it's created excitement for our school. That excitement is also carried down from our administration. Kurt Call's our athletic director, and when I say I have support, you coaches know what it's like when you have a great AD, and he is incredible. He's just worked on our weight room. We have 16 racks right now, 5 televisions, brand new facilities. It's incredible, and I appreciate him a lot. As far as our team, I have some great young men up here that I have to brag on for a minute. They've done a lot with the off-season and with our freshmen who have also been coming up. They worked with them in the off-season before they joined us in January. The very first person I'm going to put is Josh Hopkins. He is our quarterback this year. Josh has been a leader on the field and off the field, and we're looking for some big things for him as far as the passing game and the run game. Our next one is Connor Eggleston. Connor's an incredible leader, a Johns Creek kid for sure. Exhibits everything we want in our team. He's a leader not only with our defense, but with our younger players as well. The next one's Buck Barber. Buck played every position for us actually last year, and this year he's playing a lot of tight end. We're expecting some big things out of him, and also a great long snapper. And last but not least, Colin Morelli. Colin has played safety and wide receiver for us. 3 of these players had all-region honors last year, so we're excited about our future at Johns Creek. There's a lot of excitement. We're in an incredible region. We have Milton, we have Centennial on our schedule, and also Chattahoochee, so we're looking forward to that. Thank you very much.
All right, next we will have Coach Williams and Langston Hughes Panthers.
How everybody doing? It's crazy that, like Coach Dixon and Coach G said, it's surreal when you've done this so many times, you know, and it never gets old. Like you just keep coming up and you get excitement when you hear other schools talking. Again, we want to thank everybody, starting with Dr. Looney, Ms. Dove, Ms. Francesca Warren. She works so hard for the schools on the South Side. We appreciate you. To my principal, Mr. Harris, my athletic director, Coach Cannon, one of the best in the business. Again, we're just thankful to be here. Thanks to College Football Hall of Fame. And again, Fulton County Schools, one Fulton. Langston Hughes is a place that has grown over the years because of a couple things. For the most important thing we want to try to do, we want to get better daily. And I continue to tell my players that. I keep pushing it in them. We're a growing program. We want to continue to grow. We want to continue to trend upward. It's a lot of stuff that about us. We want to get back to kind of where we were last year. It's funny. I did an interview maybe a week ago. He started the interview. He said, "Coach, you had a down year last year." I said, "Say that again." He said, "You had a down year." He said, "Yeah, you went 9-3." I said, "Man, that's tough when you go 9-3. That's a down year." So, I mean, so this group of kids that I got here, as freshmen, they played in the state championship. We lost to Beaufort 21-20. As sophomores, they won a state championship, and junior year, we were put out in the second round. So, as soon as that last class got out of here, they got together amongst themselves and said, "Coach, that's not going to be us. We're going to get back to where we need to be." And the leadership that I got in this group is kind of where you want to be with player-led teams. When I say player-led, these kids on the stage with me really lead what we got going on. I think the kids, I go through them with them. Tavares Dice, he's committed to Auburn. One of the best kids I got one committed to Auburn, one committed to Georgia, so they always go back and forth anytime you talk about it. So Tavares Dice, man, he came in, he plays tackle for us, and when I say he understands what we want to do, he does a great job. He's dominant, he's strong, he's physical. The next one, Dontrell Glover. Dontrell Glover, going into his senior year, has started 43 high school football games. He started 43 high school football games. He has started since day one. He's committed to Georgia. He's going to be an early graduate. So is TJ. Those two guys anchor my offensive line. And anybody in his room understand that offensive defensive line is where you win football games. And if you're going against those two in practice, you're going to get better. If you're going to, that group of five O-linemen, they've been together for 4 years. They're all returning starters. The next up I have is Quavion Pitts. Q is one of our best leaders. I use him as an example of the kid that does it right in the classroom and on the football field. He bought into the weight room. He does an amazing job in the classroom, and he is one that exemplifies what you want your daughter to date. He does a great job being a gentleman, and he's going to take care of it. Coach, I got you, And the smallest one, probably the biggest one on the stage, is Mr. Shy, Javonni McGee. That kid is our go button. He does everything for us. Last year, he broke his collarbone twice. And of the 3 games we lost, he was out 2 of those. So that just lets you know kind of how much he paid, how much value he brought to our program and brought to our team last year. I think that he is one that, he was the first one that said, Coach, I can't wait for these seniors to graduate. And that might have been like week 8. So, it's just one of those guys, and he understands what we want to do. And again, this group on the stage is a great group. They are leading the Langston Hughes Panthers. Again, we want to thank everybody. We look forward to it. We want to have a good season. I wish nothing but players, nothing but successful seasons, injury-free. And coaches, just finish the job, and everybody go meet at week 15. All right, thank you.
All right, next we will have Coach Reeves and the Milton High School Eagles.
Good morning. Thank you so much to the Fulton County administration, board members, the Milton administration, just for all you do for us, allowing us to, fulfill our dreams and be coaches and leaders of young men. Thank you, Coach Miller, for not allowing that roast to occur. The truth is, I have some content on Coach Miller as well. And when he got the program this morning and saw we were going in ABC order and I would have the microphone last, he made a quick pivot. But we can talk later. This is my 3rd year standing up here, and the message is the same of our goal is to reach our team's ceiling, whatever that might be. Thankfully, last year it was a state championship, and we will see what this year has to hold. The biggest question that I've been answering all offseason is how do you continue to motivate a team that is coming off of a state championship, and there's also returning 18 starters from that team. And the truth is I have not had to. I have not had to because of the 4 guys standing behind me along with many others. These guys love Milton. They love Milton High School. 2 of them, I coached their brothers when I first got here in 2017. And a lot of them remember where Milton has come from. And the truth is, prior to 2017, Milton had won 4 playoff games in school history, going back to 1950, 4 total. And they've seen the transition. They've been raised in our feeder system, and they don't want to let Milton down. They want to continue to work for Milton and elevate it, and are thankful for the platform that we're on and want to continue to do their part. So, like other coaches have said, this is also a player-led team, and I'm thankful for these 4. To hit on them, we have number 7, Hayden Semenya. He actually branded himself in the state championship game as who's that number 10 for Milton that had the big hit that truly changed the game. But, he's wearing number 7 this year because that is what the leader of our defense wears. So if you wear that 7 on our defense, you're the heartbeat, you're the leader, and we're proud. And it was no question as to who was going to wear that this season. Number 87, Ryan G., 3-year starter, cornerstone of the offense, just willing to do whatever it takes, put his hand down in the dirt and get after somebody, split out wide, doesn't care about stats, catches, touchdowns, just cares about Milton and winning, and he'll be playing his college football at Auburn. Agent 0, Dylan Lewis, another 3-year starter. Dylan he's just consistent. Thinking back on the 3 years that he has started, which has been close to 30 games that he's played in, I bet he's maybe given up 8 to 10 explosives total, which is tough at his position when you're out there on an island, especially when you play man. And it says a lot just about who he is as a football player and the caliber of his game. And he'll be going to Tennessee next season. And then number 5, Luke Nickel. He's one of the ones I coached his brother. I remember watching him in the feeder system playing, and we knew he was going to be good. And you can't be successful unless you have a good trigger man. And we truly have the best in the state of Georgia, and I don't say that lightly. But he hasn't proven it at a camp. He's proven it on the field, playing actual football. And we're blessed that he's back for another year. And like I said, these guys, they know what the hype is. We talk about it. We're not scared of it. But ultimately, we're just focused on play one. Not game 15, not game 5, not even the fourth quarter of game 1. We're just focused on play one, and we're going to try to win that play and then play the next one and see where we wind up at the end of the season. Thank you so much for your time, and go Eagles.
Next, we'll have Coach Brott and North Springs Spartans.
Good morning. Hope everybody's enjoying themselves today. Before we get started, I do want to thank our administration at North Springs, Mr. Hanson and Coach Thomas. We'll talk about things a little bit here at North Springs. And obviously, it would be smart of us to recognize this great event, Dr. Looney, and the great things that have been said here today that are motivating. I'm going to jump right in and talk about our players. And I'll backtrack about our program, and you'll understand why in a second. The first young man is our center. He'll be a returning starter, Sean Moore. He played some defense this year. He hasn't been working on it yet, but all of our players will play both ways. Sean's one of our offensive leaders, does a great job. Very dependable young man, supportive family. The second young man is Jace Jackson. Jace is a two-year starter now for us, plays both ways, played a lot of safety last year. He's actually moving to linebacker, does a great job. It's really going to kind of turn things around for our defense. He was also a all-region player at tight end last year in our region. Does a great job, very dependable young man. All these young men are great academic students. But last, we have Jacoby Collins, who started at receiver and is now also moved over to defense to play defense for us. These young men are what North Springs is all about right now. That's why they're here today. They're not here because there were just 3 or 4 seniors that were available. Just like all the other seniors that are sitting out there, they are the key to their program. Our program's in a little bit different situation right now. We're not in a rebuilding situation as far as a football program. We're in a rebuilding situation from a construction school standpoint. These young men could easily do what society says and walk away, to go somewhere where every week they're going to have a true home stadium. But instead, they've bought into the vision that our school and administration and our county has for us. I appreciate those schools that are going to allow us to play at their schools these next few years. That's huge. That shows you the greatness of Fulton County schools, seeing it as one big family. See, our word this year is unity. These young men, that's what it's been all about. I can stand up here and talk about accolades of how our offense last year produced twice as many points as it has in the last decade. I could talk to you about how our program's turned the corner. We have twice as many football players in our program right now than they've had in decades. I could talk to you about Mr. Hansen, who has hired coaches for us that probably the first time in decades we'll have a full coaching staff. But it's these young men and the support of our community that is changing things. So I appreciate our school board making these things happen for us. These young men are going to do great things this year on that football field. They're going to do great things in life. They're going to go on and play college football. I had a newspaper ask me the other day, which one of your players, how many of your players are going to go play college football? How many of them have that opportunity? How many of them are good enough? Every football player is good enough to play college football. There is no such thing as a football player that cannot play college football. The question is how far are they willing to go away from home? What are they willing to do when no one else is looking? See, that speaks volumes to these young men. I can turn my back on these young men in the weight room. They're going to do what they're supposed to do. Those are the kind of players we have at North Springs. We're going to have a great year. How is that measured? It's measured by how they feel at the end, how they play as one. We're a team of unity. We're a family. We base this entire program on a couple values, GFF. See, the GFF is interchangeable. It's always going to be God, family, football. On Friday nights, it becomes God, football, family. So the F's are interchangeable. That's what this program is all about. These young men have bought into the vision. They're the ones that are in the locker room when things are tough that I know are in there being positive. And I appreciate you because without support, without the changes that even Dr. Looney has made, it's allowing our program to grow. See, just by changing one little rule, allowing 8th graders to participate, it's going to do great things for us. We're going to take advantage of that situation. We've been given a situation that a lot of people will run from. I've been through this construction process thing. I've been through this. I opened up River Ridge High School. I was there from the ground level. But it's the leadership that allows for you to be successful and build stuff. So we're going to have those 8th graders practice. They're going to get coached by this entire coaching staff that Mr. Hansen's helped us put together. But it's these young men that are going to lead us, not me, them. It's their leadership. And we just appreciate y'all allowing us to be a part of this county. Thank you.
All right, next we'll have Coach Schwarzer and the Northview Titans.
To reiterate and piggyback off of everyone else, thank you for all that you guys do for us. I also want to thank Coach Glenn, but also his staff. China does a tremendous job. She helps me out in my other role. I love Northview. I mean, it is going in year 4, and I know people on the outside will look and go, hey, they haven't won a ton of games. But there's reasons for that. And I'm going to first talk about the positives. Number one, we never, ever have to worry about our kids in the hallways, the classroom, etc. Our kids show up for weight training. You know, I bet these guys combined have probably taken 10 to 15 AP classes. They can't fit weight training in their schedule. They're there 4 days a week at 6:45 from last November until now. And I'm going to talk about these guys first, but George, number 0 here, he is a former basketball kid. He came to us, started to fall in love with football. He's getting a lot of attention from FCS and D2 schools because of his size, but because of his grades. You pull those transcripts out and you look at it and it's like, wow, 3.4 GPA, AP classes, but also you talk to his teachers. They say great things about him there, and that's what life's about. Character. In the middle there, Noam Colt. He'll be a 2-year starter for us. Unfortunately, last year we had a rash of injuries, and he had to step in and play for us. He plays all 5 spots on the offensive line. He plays defensive line. He's another one. 3-point-something GPA, just a great kid, leader in our football team. And then Adam Kinlan, who is just what you want out of a Northview kid. He does everything we've asked him to do. He started playing some tight end for us this year, and we had some depth issues on the offensive line. He came to me and said, Coach, I'm going to guard. It's going to help us be better. And so he's creating depth there. You know, my assistant coaches do a great job, and I would be remiss if I did not, all of our coaches, thank our wives, significant others, our kids. They're the ones that sacrifice. Getting home at 8 o'clock in the evening, I know Coach Carlisle practices in the morning, he's a smart man, but you guys know what it's like. You get home and your kids still want your time, and you're tired. And those of you that teach, I mean, it's even harder on you because you have to prepare for class the next day. So I understand where you are there. As far as our season outlook, you know, again, we're still building. The biggest thing for us is moving down a classification. You know, we're a little unique entity. We're shrinking in enrollment. I think we're like 1,500 kids now. When I got there, we were at 1,900. So we're shrinking. But our participation's gone up. My first year we had 40 kids. Now we're about 75 to 80. But moving down to 4A is going to be tremendous for us. It gives us a more competitive schedule. I love competing to you guys in Fulton County, but we're not on the same level. But what we're trying to do now is you know how it is. It's kind of, I'm an SEC guy. You know, there's Vanderbilt struggles in the SEC for obvious reasons. But us moving down is going to be a tremendous opportunity for us as a program and a school. And I just cannot say how happy I'm going to be a part of Northview High School. And I just appreciate you all. And thanks for letting us, let me talk about how great our school is and these kids. Thank you.
All right, next we'll have Coach Cahill and the Riverwood Raiders.
Good morning. First, I want to thank Dr. Looney, the board, Coach Glenn for your support with athletics and giving us the resources that we need to help raise these young men in the best way that we know how to do, and that is through coaching, and it's much appreciated what you do. I want to thank my principal, Kendra Smith, and our AD, Matt Taylor, for being here and supporting our kids, and all the coaches know that when your AD or your principal, anytime that you see them, one of the last things they say is, just let us know what you need. And they know I'm going to tell them what we need, and I'm going to come with a long list, but they are open to everything that we want to do. When we got this and said, you know, bring 4 players with you, I could have easily thrown all of our players into a bucket and just taken out 4 names and been perfectly fine with any of them coming. We got great kids at Riverwood. So any one of those kids that we have on our team could have brought here, and we could have said whatever we wanted to, and they're just great kids. But these 4 that are up here right now have taken a leadership role in one way or another within our program, and have kind of stepped up since the end of last season. Number 7, be a senior, Daniel Thompson. He'll be a 2-year starter for us at linebacker, also going to play some tight end for us. Number 8, be a junior, Zach Stair, be a 3-year starter for us at wide receiver this year. Has kind of taken a leadership role on as far as our wide receiver group. Number 0 here, Sean Perrette. He is going to be a 3-year starter on both offense and defensive line for us. Sean just committed to South Florida a couple weeks ago to play football, so we're proud of him for that. And number 5, Graham Westrom will be a 2-year starter at linebacker. He's also going to play some tight end for us as well. He played some tight end for us when he was a sophomore as well. I want to back up. I want to thank Rennie for coming here and giving his time as well. You not only spoke to the players and the coaches, but it's the reason that I bring my son with, so he can hear things and he can hear what greatness is all about from people other than his dad trying to get it across to him what it's like. So I appreciate your time coming here. So my little right-hand man wanted to walk up on the stage too because he asked me if this might be on YouTube later, and I said it might. So he's going to get it. Well, he's hiding, but he's going to tell his sister that he was there. So the outlook on our season this year, we've got 6 returning starters. We're going to be very young this year. We move into a new region, so we're going to go north in the Cherokee-Cobb County region. We're excited about it. Even though we're going to be really young, our young group, we've got these guys leading them. Our young kids have a passion and a fire for the game. And as coaches, we'd rather have to find a way to reel them in than have to pull them along. And those kids have that fire that we want. Those young kids, we're going to play a lot of sophomores this year, and we're excited about those kids. And we're going to show up on Friday nights, and we're going to bring a ball with us, and we're going to let it rip and have some fun and just kind of see what happens. So thank you for having us today.
All right, next we'll have Coach Pruitt and Roswell.
I'll be quick here. I got a time limit. I got cheer practice I got to get to here in a little bit, so I want to make sure I get there. Like Coach was saying earlier, one of the coolest jobs we have is obviously being a coach to these players, but also being a husband and a father. So want to make sure I don't miss that time commitment there. I want to thank Dr. Looney, board members, Mr. Glenn for letting us have it. This is a great event. I guess this is year 5 now being here. This is an incredible event. I know other coaches mentioned that this is an awesome deal, and not many counties get to do this. I want to thank Coach Suter, our athletic director, Principal Miley back there for being here and allowing me to be here and talk about these guys. It was difficult to pick 4 of our seniors. We have a big senior class, and these 4 guys have been a huge part of our success the past 3 seasons. They've done everything we've asked for them. They play with enthusiasm. I think I'm safe to say they are unapologetically themselves, which is fun to be around. And again, they do a great job with our program. I'll go through them very quickly so we can get through here again. First one over here, number 7, Ryder Duffy, has played linebacker for us. This will be his 3rd year starting. Has done a tremendous job. Going to get a chance to play at Elon University for the next couple years. Number 2, Sinquan Smith, running back, slot receiver, returner. Does a lot of things for us, very dynamic with the football, going to get to play at Pitt. Number 63, Andrew Stargell, very similar to what Coach Williams was saying. Langston Hughes has played every single snap for us since he's been at Roswell High School. Been a very important part of our offensive line, and will continue to do that. He's going to get to play at UCF at the next level. And then number 4, Grant Cook. Anything you ask him to do, whether it's hold, whether it's snap, whether punt, receiver, DB, safety, whatever you ask him to do, he's going to be a good part of what we do. And someone's going to be very lucky to have him on their college roster next year. Outlook for this season, again, our program has had a lot of success. The biggest thing we're trying to get to is just winning every single moment that we have, not looking too far forward. We have an incredible schedule this year, very good teams on the schedule. I think 5 of the top 200 in the country are on there, so we're going to be tested. We're going to be ready to play. We just hope that we're there and compete and end up at the bins like everybody else. Again, thank you.
All right, next we will have Coach Massey and the Tri-Cities Bulldogs. Unfortunately, Coach Hackney couldn't be with us today, so Coach Massey is going to fill in.
Good morning. Coach Hackney unfortunately couldn't be here today. I don't normally get to do this. It's my first one. And you can look at stuff as an obstacle or opportunity. This is unexpected, but I look at it as an opportunity. Shout out to y'all coaches. I get to soak up. I'm not mastered the art of talking a lot like a lot of y'all yet, because I'm early in my coaching career, but it's a good experience to be here. And these students I have here, they also look at things as an opportunity. We got a lot of obstacles when they came in. Jalen Moore started as a freshman, and he's one of these kids up here today coming in as a sophomore. We expect for him to start all year. Then we have Jabril Riley. He plays any position we need him at. He looks like a smaller lineman, but he's super explosive, and he steps up to the plate every time we need him. Hezekiah Williams, he's our most versatile player. He'll literally play any position, offense, defense, and he's going to definitely have some offers. And then we got our quarterback, Nakai, which he wants to play. He wants to play every skill position, but we got him at quarterback, and he'll step in where we need him. So all of these students have looked at our obstacles and turned it into an opportunity, and I'm proud of them. And that's all we got. Thank you.
All right, next we'll have the Westlake Lions and Coach Mitchell.
Good morning, everybody. First off, I just want to say thank you, Jesus, for this opportunity, man. I can tell anybody, like, me becoming a Westlake was nothing but a miracle. Everything else was by my own doing, but he made a way for me to be able to get here, to be here for the last 3 years of these kids' careers, and just being able to be here at this moment. I also want to thank the Fulton County Board of Education and Fulton County Schools. I also want to thank my principal, Principal Adams. I want to thank A.D. Parker for believing in me, believing in my vision, and allowing me to have this opportunity to be able to serve in the Westlake community. I've been with these guys since they were sophomores, so just seeing them grow, seeing them mature, seeing them go into their senior year, man, it's been a special process. When we came in, we inherited a team that was pretty talented, had a lot of really good players, had a lot of good things going on, but some culture things needed to be fixed, and we've worked to do that. Last year, we went 9-3. We lost to Colquitt County down in Moultrie. It wasn't how we wanted to finish, but this year we came in January and we wanted to just start working on it ourselves and start working on what we're doing in the building as people and as student athletes. In February, we had a quick transition. Our prior head coach left to go to college, and then I became the interim head coach, and my list went from 5 things to 1 million in less than 5 minutes. But nonetheless, the kids never missed a beat. The very next morning after I was named, they came to workouts at 6:30 in the morning. I didn't know if they was going to show up, but they came, all of them, and they've worked every single day. Every single day they come in, they do exactly what I asked them to do. They don't give me any lip back. They might give me some suggestions on things I need to change. But, you know, there's kids for you. But nonetheless, I've been very grateful to be in this situation with them, to be able to be in the grind with them, to be able to show them that I love them each and every day, and giving them the tools to become great men in life. Speaking of these 4, for the 4 of the very many that we have here at the Great Westlake, first, we have Juan Gaston. He speaks for himself. He's 6'8", he's 380. He's a humble giant, but at the end of the day, he's a wonderful kid. He has all the offers that you could think of. He'll be choosing what school he'll be going to on August the 2nd. I'm so very proud of Juan and just the maturation that he's went through. He's went from saying 1 word to at least saying 10 words. So we appreciate that, Juan. Next, we got Travis Smith. Travis Smith is one of our leaders. He's one of those kids that does everything that you ask him to do. He's worked very hard over the last 3 years. When I first got here, he was going through a rough season. Last year, he had his coming out party. And so, therefore, it has parlayed itself into him going to the University of Tennessee in the fall for him to be able to continue his educational career. We're very proud of Travis and all of the accolades and the things that he continues to keep doing each and every year. Next, we have Naeem Odini. Naeem Odini led our team in touchdowns last year with 16. He is one of those young men that he might be small in stature, but he's big at heart. This young man comes to work every single day, willing to lift the house if he has to in order to make sure that he's being the example that he needs to be for his teammates. We're very appreciative of that. And last but not least, we have our trigger man, number 12, Sean Smith. Sean came in last year. He was in a quarterback battle, but he kept working. He was a gym rat. He was the first one in. He was the last one out. He's always watching film. He's always trying to find ways to get better. He's always looking to become the best version of himself. That's what we can say about every kid that comes through our Westlake football program. We're looking to become better every single day. As I told them when I first got hired, we're trying to be better every single time. So in doing that, we just continue to keep focusing on ourselves and focusing on our team goal, which is to win the day. Win every day. That's all we want to do. Good luck to everybody this season. We hope to see you all very soon, and have a wonderful day.
All right, well, you've heard the season outlook from all 16 high schools here. And let's just take a minute to give these coaches and players a round of applause. In closing, I just want to talk about just some of the words that were mentioned here today: teamwork, integrity, accountability, effort, character, commitment, unity. I mean, this wasn't planned. all of your speakers that came up here today, I don't think any of us spoke to each other and knew what we were going to say. Coaches, I didn't speak to you about what you were going to say. But those words, those key words, gentlemen, those are life words. Those are the words that make you successful. And those are the things that you should paste them on your wall in your bedroom, read them every day, those types of words. And that's going to make you successful. Before we close, I just want to give some thank yous. In order to pull something like this off, you have to have help. And first, I'd like to thank some of our office staff members, my PA, Dr. China Peak, Ms. Sharita Ogletree, Ms. Tabora Wembley, I don't know where she went on us, but also our Fulton County Schools communications team, Ashley, Ms. Valencia. Without them, we could not pull this off. Also, I want to thank our hardworking athletic directors that work behind the scenes day and night and what they do for all of our sports. Mr. Curran, thank you. Your words of wisdom for our kids, priceless, and I really appreciate you. I know Coach Curvin said he wanted to be able to listen to you 10 minutes every morning. So Mr. Curran brought everybody a copy of his book. So be sure that you stop by the table, get a copy of his book today. We appreciate that. So I think there's some valuable nuggets in there for us all. Just housekeeping, you have a lanyard, a fan lanyard. That lanyard will allow you to tour the facility for the remainder of the day. So you can tour the facility as long as you want to. I think there's some great things for you to see, some motivational things you see upstairs. But again, I want to thank everyone for coming out this morning. This has been a great event, and good luck this season.